Hi, peoples. Uh, in the previous lecture, this lecture is continuation to the previous one. We have started Pitt is a war minister, his personality, his characters, and results of his war policy. Now, today we will talk about the other part of Pitt, and there in the topic is work and achievement of Pitt the Elder. So, what were his achievements? We will talk about that in detail. So, he has great achievements when he was is a war minister as well as prime minister, and we will talk about all of those achievements. So, the first one, Pitt defeated France. The French were defeated in the 7 Years' War, uh, a war which made England a very powerful country. It laid the foundation of big British Empire, and soon England became a prosperous country. So the defeat of French was really a great significance for England. So thus the defeat helped England to become prosperous in all aspects. Second achievement, Pitt had no selfish motives. Pitt himself was very honest and had no selfish motives. He baffled bribery and dishonesty by his practical plans and by his own example. He introduced many administrative reforms. He was supporter of democracy. He was supporter of freedom of press. So he was against bribery, dishonesty, and he did away with the dishonesty and bribery of his party, the Whig. Third important achievement of Pitt was Pitt saved England in a critical situation. England was losing ground everywhere at the outset of the onset of the 7 Years' War, but with the arrival of Pitt as a war minister, it changed into Trump everywhere. He infused patriotism in the masses by his speeches and made them alert. He infuses patriotism. He bring vigor and energy in his masses and in soldiers. Thus, at the start, at the inception of the 7 Year Wars, England was losing everywhere. But when he took the charge as a war minister, he changed the situation ups down. Fourth important achievement was Pitt was an imperialist. Pitt was a great statesman as well as a great empire builder. He extended the British Empire in America and India, and England surpassed the colonial race against France. So thus, England became first-rated power in the world. And fifth important achievement of Pitt was Pitt favored democracy. Pitt's home policy was based on democratic principles. He was in favor of the rights of the people, the freedom of press, and parliamentary reforms. People used to call him the great commoner out of law. He was highly loved by the people of England, and out of law he would be called great commoner. And sixth important achievement was Pitt's great contribution to England. His great contribution to his country was his son, Pitt the Elder, Phil the Little, the son of Pitt, or Pitt the Younger. This was his great contribution to England, that he bore to such great statesmen in the form of Pitt the Younger, who by his capabilities defeated the great military commander Napoleon. He saved England from disastrous Napoleonic wars. So, thus, this was another great contribution to England. Now we will compare Walpole and William Pitt the Elder. Uh, Pitt and Walpole were contemporaries, but they had little in common with each other. Both were contemporaries, but they had little in common with each other. So, talking about the comparison of these two, mm, number first, in internal affairs. Uh, Walpole was undoubtedly clear than Pitt in the internal, clever and than Pitt in the internal affairs of the country. He was expert in managing men. So, on the other hand, Pitt was not that much as Walpole was. Secondly, administration in war times. Walpole could not administer well during the war times. Pitt, on the other hand, did wonders in his war policy, especially in 7 Year Wars against France or against the King of France. So Pitt was highly shrewd and clever in this regard when he was as a war minister. Then Walpole. Development in trade and commerce. Walpole was a great economist, while Pitt had no such quality in him. Walpole developed trade and made England prosperous. Pitt was only anxious of his war conquest and was not much interested in uplifting the economy of the country. Pitt was not interested in uplifting the economy while he was interested in conquest and extending the British Empire, as we talked that he was imperialist, while Walpole was have great regard for the economy of the country. Difference of countenance or difference of appearances. Walpole was jovial and could work and adjust with all sorts of men. He was tolerant, while Pitt was a harsh man. Nobody could dare criticize him. While Walpole was jovial and a very kind type of personality. Party leadership. The fifth important point in comparison is the party leadership. Walpole was a great leader and parliamentarian. He took leading part in the development of the cabinet system of government in England. On the other hand, Pitt lacked such qualities and he could not seek the cooperation of his minister, and probably this was the reason that he resigned in 1768 as a prime minister. So in conclusion, we can say, or pithily we can say, that both of them were great in their own spheres of activities and served the nation in their own ways. Walpole brought peace and prosperity in the country. Pitt saved the country saved the country at a critical moment. So this is all about Pitt. So these two collectively uh, concluded Pitt as a war minister as well as prime minister, his achievements, his personality, and Pitt from examination point of view is of great significance. So you must have idea about Pitt the Elder. So thank you so much for watching the video.